We are making our way from Loveland, Colorado over to Meeker, Colorado, taking Interstate 70 west. What do we need to do?
Give Daisy water.
Give Daisy some water?
Yeah.
Where's the bowl?
I don't know.
Thanks. I was real unsure about where I could pull over with the big long rig to get some diesel. Exit 234, I believe it is, Downeyville, Colorado, actually has about 3 or 4 lanes of a truck stop level pull-off for diesel and DEF. So I figured that's a good stop. It's going to be about 138 miles to Silt, Colorado, where there's a nice new truck stop there. Everything else between there is small gas stations aimed at cars. I didn't see any places that are good stops for big long rigs. So we made a pit stop, used the restroom, let Daisy go to the bathroom, and now we're ready to hit the road.
Hi, good morning.
So we stopped at a rest area just off of Interstate 70 and Highway 6 in Edwards, Colorado. And there is a dump station right over there, which I know is really useful because there is a lot of boondocking opportunities out in this area. If you need to dump, just know that. Edwards, Colorado.
This world that was my surroundings, my heart screamed out for more. It's the storm inside that's breaking my heart each moment while it keeps it going. It's been driving my life into both joy and sorrow, and there's still a long way to go.
So when we stopped at this rest area, this gentleman approached me and asked me if I knew anything about the emergency brake, and his is melting right there. It's actually hot. He said his brakes were smoking coming down the pass, and he was getting a trailer fault warning. I didn't have a solution for him. But if you're watching this video and you think you might know something about that, leave a comment down below so the rest of us can learn from you. He said he thought he could get the part at Walmart. Not real sure about that, but he unhitched, ran over to Walmart to see if he can get that fixed. Glenwood Canyon is located in western Colorado, a 16-mile canyon formed by the Colorado River. It was first used as a railway in the 1880s, connecting the towns of Glenwood Springs with Leadville, Aspen, and Grand Junction. If you are lucky, while you're driving through Glenwood Canyon, you might spot a Union Pacific train passing on the railway, or maybe even the Amtrak train, California Zephyr. Once the automobile had entered into the foray of transportation, they began to build highways through Glenwood Canyon. It wasn't until the 1970s that they began to visualize ideas to connect Interstate 70. In 1980, they began the construction with nearly 500 workers every day to build Interstate 70 through Glenwood Canyon. There were those that were concerned about preserving the canyon, which is understandable as it is a beautiful place. Multiple designs were submitted, some being entirely tunnels, some diverting the interstate to the south of the canyon, but it was finally rested on its current design, which helped to preserve the canyon and the river. It was such a massive engineering task that they took on, and they did not even complete it until 1992. Of the 39 bridges along the highway, a lot of them were prefabricated and then brought into the canyon to be installed. There are several tunnels that were built along the 16-mile path. There are several tunnels that were built along the 16-mile path, and the toughest one of those was over 3,000 feet long, and it was near the Hanging Lake area. When the construction was completed, we were left with 4 different state-of-the-art rest areas at Grizzly Creek, Hanging Lake, Bear Ranch, and No Name, which is actually the name of it, No Name. As our family has discovered, a trip to Glenwood Canyon is an excellent use of time to learn about the area, to do hiking, to go whitewater rafting, bicycling, or just take some beautiful photos. Glenwood Canyon is just as interesting as its North American neighbor, the Grand Canyon. The rock formations in the walls are stunning to look at and rich with interesting geological history. The walls of the canyon climb as high as 1,300 feet, or 400 meters, above the Colorado River. The upper layers consist of limestone and sandstone, while the lower layers are made of Cambrian rock. In my research of Glenwood Canyon, I was looking for more information about the Native Americans and what they did with Glenwood Canyon. While the Native Americans did have footpaths, horse trails, and easy access routes into the area to adequately serve their needs, it was easier to take the high roads up through the Flatirons than to go down through the canyon, as most of it was seen as very dangerous. There's a lot more history involved with the city of Glenwood Springs, which is at the western side of the Glenwood Canyon, in regards to the Ute Indians and Chief Ouray. Also, of interesting note is to discover that the Colorado River was not always called the Colorado River. Originally, it was named the Grand River and was changed in 1921. Now when you realize that the Colorado River runs through Grand Junction, and remember that the river was named the Grand River, these names are really starting to come together. The drive through Glenwood Canyon is considered our favorite drive that we have ever encountered on our travels around the United States. It is the very reason that we purchased our Insta360 camera that we used to film this footage. We did that because our first time driving through, well, we had our phones, we had a GoPro, and we even had our nice Canon camera. Nothing really was able to capture for us the full beauty of Glenwood Canyon. So we decided to seek out a 360 camera that really could take it all in, and that would allow for me to adapt the footage after we drove through there to really try to pick the best shots and best views, because it changes so quickly as you're driving through. At one moment the best view is to the left, or the best view is to the right, or honestly, there's some points where the best view is all around you. It is such an amazing and beautiful drive, and we would love to go back and drive through there again on multiple occasions. I would love to whitewater raft through there. I would love to take my bicycle and ride through each of the rest areas and onto Glenwood Springs, because they have paths. It's a cement path that connects all of them. So every time we've come out to Meeker or left Meeker, we've had to drive through the Glenwood Canyon, which is the Colorado River forging a path through the mountains. That's the same Colorado River that forges a path through the Grand Canyon. So there's a number of rest areas, some that just like this one we're at right now, something Bear, B-A-I-R. Anyway, it has warning signs. Nothing over 35 feet can come in here. So we had a weekend where we didn't have any family in Meeker. We just thought, let's just take the truck and drive back and check out Glenwood Springs and the Glenwood Canyon and see what this area has to offer. So here is the Colorado River. It's peaceful right here. Hopefully I'll see if I can get some footage further down. At the next rest area, it's the Grizzly Creek rest area. The waters in that area, oh my goodness, they're very turbulent. We tried going to the Hanging Lake trailhead. Unfortunately, it was closed. The water was so turbulent there, I don't think that the whitewater rapids tubing, what do you call those? There's a lot of people, they get in the boats. I got plenty of footage. You're probably looking at it right now, but some of that water is so turbulent, I don't think that they go through that area. And that's right by the Hanging Lake area. This is also the White River National Forest area as well. Just beautiful. In fact, we both feel, Tanya and I feel that this is the most beautiful drive we've ever been on. We were watching a documentary on it, and they're like, it's the most beautiful interstate drive you'll ever drive, as far as an interstate goes. Maybe you'll find a smaller highway that's more beautiful, but this is amazing. The water looks real peaceful right here. I actually saw some people that were playing around with inflatable paddle boards right in this area. Not sure how far down you could go. You'd want to check that. One of the cool things though is there is sidewalk like this that goes all the way through the canyon right next to the interstate. And it'll take you all the way into Glenwood Springs. So that's something where if you like cycling, honestly, I would love to come back to this area with the bike and just bike the whole Glenwood Canyon. Maybe like 12 miles, 15 miles, something like that. In and out, that'd be a blast. Whoa.
It's hot outside.
It was like cold like a week ago, now it's hot.
We're moving into the snow.
So this is the Grizzly Creek, and it flows down in here into the Glenwood Canyon. The Colorado River is right over here. So the parking lot is all at a slant, and everybody's struggling to walk.
My legs.
It's not even. It's uneven. You come over here and look at the Grizzly Creek. I can hear the water.
My story, raised in a small town, trying to burn out in glory. Yeah, last bit. This world that was my surroundings, my heart screamed out for more. It's the storm inside that's breaking my heart each morning while it keeps it going. It's been driving my life into both joy and sorrow, and there's still a long way to go.
So the Glenwood Canyon has a number of rest areas. This one, the Grizzly Creek rest area, I think is probably one of the best. You got an awesome trail that takes you up the Grizzly Creek. You can probably hear the rapids of the Grizzly Creek right now. It's beautiful. There's people doing planned hikes up the trail. You can use this spot to launch your boats to get on the Colorado River. This is after the point where I was saying that the rapids were just a little too tumultuous. This is also a big enough stop where big rigs, 18-wheelers, actually can pull off at this rest area. So if you're coming through the Glenwood Canyon and you are pulling an RV and you want to stop for a while, wouldn't you want to stop and check this out? Right here behind me is where the Grizzly Creek meets the Colorado River. So that's where the two bodies of water. The Grizzly Creek looks a lot clearer, like you can see the rocks to the bottom. The Colorado River is looking pretty muddy, but they've had a pretty wet year so far this season in Colorado, so the water levels are higher, and that tends to bring some more dirt with it as it comes down from the mountains.
It's the storm inside. Oh, that's breaking my heart each morning while it keeps it sorrow, and there's still a long way to
So the rest area that's right here, this is the Grizzly Creek rest area. There's a little trail, takes you right down to the Colorado River. You just stick your feet, just walk right in. Nice and cold. It's melted snow. I mean, doesn't get better than that, right? So this parking lot where we're parked is nothing over 20 feet long in here. But there's parking on the side of this road up here. There's another truck pulling up right now. You see it. Where you can stop if you're a longer rig. Well, we really appreciate you watching our video on Glenwood Canyon. Thank you so much for coming along this journey with us. We hope that we will see you next week. Remember, life happens. Don't let it stop you. Stay fresh, cheese bags.